So, something cliche old high school terms. I was kind of the black sheep, like the outcast, the rebel, the guy that didn't really fit in. I bounced around a lot. One time I thought I could be a jock, but it turns out you have to be kind of like tough and muscly, and I'm not those things. So I ended up kind of like landing in the, the smoke pit kids, the potheads, the skaters, the black sheep. I remember a lot of my life chasing people around, trying to get attention from everybody. And I didn't know why or what I was doing or whatever, but I remember one day all my friends had gotten together and decided that we were gonna go to do this thing at the lake. And they told me where it was, and it wasn't where it was. They ended up all going somewhere else. And I went to the place they told me to go and nobody was there. So I just kind of gave up and went and did my own thing. And that was kind of like, that was my whole life, basically, like growing up. So I really found a lot of like safe space in my family. My dad and my brother became my best friends, and my younger sister's like way too young and my older sister's way too old. There's a huge age gap. So I don't know, just me and my brother became partners in crime. We spent a lot of time doing the rebel shit, just doing dumb shit the kids do, getting into trouble, and it ended up getting pretty serious. So we kind of took a step back because we realized, what we were doing and losing friends along the way. People just kind of like dropping off like flies. Not just not being our friends, like actually dying, getting in fights and doing drugs and all that kind of shit. So we're kind of like the Boondock Saints, just me and my brother ride or die kind of thing. And always chasing people down, always trying to like find where I fit in, always kind of gave me anxiety. I never really felt like I was a part of anything. I never really felt like I belonged anywhere. And so I just kind of get stuck up in my head all the time, talking about just having like those fake conversations that you have with yourself. You're arguing with a friend or a family member or whoever it is, and none of it's real, but to you it's really real, and it just, I don't know, I have a really vivid imagination, so the more I let it rattle around in there, the more real it became, until that anxiety kind of like manifested in real ways, in physical ways. Yeah, so they experimented with drugs and shit on me, and you name it, I've probably taken it as far as like the prescription drugs go, and none of them ever worked. They always had some fucking side effect, something that messed with my head and made me feel like unclear. And it wasn't like I was crazy, it was just like I didn't understand what I was doing to myself. And as I grew up, I did a lot of like looking into what that meant, what it was, what I was doing to myself, what that self-dialogue was bringing into my life. And that's kind of when I realized, you are who you surround yourself with, you are what you bring in. And I took a look around and I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be who I was becoming. And so I just slowly, one by one, started like leaving people behind, just stopped talking to people, getting in fights with people, and just kind of like ending it because they didn't see what I saw. Along the way, it was a huge lesson that I had to learn, and that was like what my purpose in life is. I don't know about anybody else, but I always felt like that was a real personal experience, trying to find my purpose in life. Only in my maturity and actually going through all of this, creating this, did I kind of realize that really my purpose was to find my talent and get really, really good at it, and then use it to help people and make people better and contribute back into the world and make a difference. And when I started doing that, I realized that I wasn't as alone as I felt. There's a lot more to life than what I personally was experiencing. There's a lot more. There's a bigger picture to things, and I was always very selfish in my thinking. I was always like, what about me? I remember my dad taught me this: seek first to understand and then to be understood. And I think I focused a lot on that first half. I was always trying to understand people, but nobody ever took the time to understand me. And so there was a shift in my life where I focused on that, trying to get people to understand me. And the problem was I didn't understand myself. And so that was part of the journey that kind of took me from who I was to who I am. So if there's like one thing I hope everybody kind of gets from this, it's that if you live selfishly, everybody's going to treat you as if you are selfish. And if you live with your heart and with love and you be the light, you can actually change people's lives. You can actually do something positive, and it makes you a happier person.
I just want you all to myself, 'cause I can't stand it when you're with anyone else. Come to me, babe, let me be your safety, 'cause they'll only hurt you, but I'll never stray. I'm a part of you now, no, you'll never escape. All you'll see is pain when you feel like you're okay, but you're not really okay, you're just hiding from me. Who will you be when I'm out of the way? Will you see brighter days? Will you be someone great? Will you stay in the shade with me? Baby, you crave it, let's fade away.
Oh, you're right, it's how could they love me?
Baby, you're
Yeah,
mine.
how could they want me?
Baby, you're
Yeah,
mine.
how could they love me?
Baby, you're mine. Baby, you're mine. You're mine, mine. Yeah.
That's it.